There are things that we were doing that people didn't think were possible, and things that we would talk about, like, wouldn't it be funny if you could do this, or could you imagine doing that? It's just something that I've been driven to always want to do, and the more I did it, the better I got, and the better I got, the more I wanted to do, and it was just like an endless cycle. It's all up to the individual, and I used to think there was limits, but there isn't. My name is Rob Nollie out of Orlando, Florida, and I'm a professional BMX stunt rider. BMX originally started out as racing. That's what BMX means, bicycle moto cross. And then that branched off into people doing stunts on their bikes. And there's different variations of that. You can do flatland, which is tricks on the ground, ramp riding, as well as street or dirt jumping as well. BMX to me is a living now. I didn't initially start out that way. It was something that I did for fun, and I was just so involved in it and passionate about it that it became a lifestyle and a living for me. There's different ways you can make money at this. Having sponsors and be a sponsored paid rider. And another way to make a living is what I do now, is performing and doing shows. It depends on your motivation and your drive, and you're willing to put in the time and make it into something that you wanted. I can't really explain it, but it's just something that I've always wanted to do. I've done it in my off time, and I'm lucky enough to have turned it into a career. Well, this is Winnie, my girlfriend, and our daughter, Willa. No, what?
Hi, Mom.
All right, this is Willa's mom. For me to learn any tricks, I read the magazines that had the tricks in them. That's how I learned the tricks. These are actually some of the bikes from my childhood. This is my first bike that I can remember ever having. I don't even know what age I was when I got it, but it was a Evel Knievel style bike with a plastic gas tank and fenders. I think it's a 1976 AMF. And this is kind of what I learned to just get my balance and ride on. And then just being an Evel Knievel bike and watching him on TV kind of got the wheels turning. We didn't have any ramps in the basement, so that's why I learned flatland. But as I saw in the magazines, not only was there flatland, but there was ramp riding and dirt jumping. I dug up my backyard, dug my own dirt jumps. So that was where I started and how I began. And it makes me appreciate now being able to just go down to the local skate park and go ride. So what I'm doing, I'm replacing a piece in my hub that will allow it to not pedal backwards when I'm rolling backwards. Allows you to do some new tricks that you couldn't do before. I realized probably when I was 21 that I could actually make a living riding BMX, because I had heard of Disney World in Orlando hiring BMX and skateboard riders for their parade. So when I heard about that, I took the couple-hour drive up to Orlando to go to the auditions that they had, and we got hired. And now all of a sudden I had a job that I was making money riding BMX. My biggest achievement in BMX would be the year that I won the straight jacket, because that year, out of the 5 contests, I think I got 4 first place. Yeah, and then in here, kind of a memorabilia room, some trophies, some stuff from the past. This is probably one of my more significant ones. It's a bronze medal from the X Games in '96. That was actually the 2nd year ever of the X Games, but the 1st year that they had park. This is kind of all the credentials I've collected over the years. Pretty neat because they're all dated and they all have the cities where we were at. And over here, most of my very first trophies. All of these trophies up here are all flatland, which is kind of how I got my start in the sport, because where I grew up, I didn't have any ramps to ride or any skate parks or anything. All I had was my bike in the driveway. And I wanted to learn tricks, so I learned a lot of flatland, and that kind of helped me get to where I'm at right now. And I still ride flatland to this day, just not as much. But it's kind of cool to have those memories. pack it up and ready to go. Yeah, we're heading out to my local skate park in Merritt Island, Florida. It's called Paradise Funplex. I've probably been riding there since they opened in the late 90s. And it's my favorite skate park to go to because they got everything. Vert ramps, mini ramps, box jump, spine. A lot of stuff that I ride in the shows as well, so that's why I prefer to practice there. Skate parks nowadays are, different people have preferences of what they like. A lot of the new skate parks are concrete and more skateboard orientated. What makes it more of a bike park is a lot of transitions, half pipes. Those are some of the obstacles that I like to ride, but BMXers ride everything. I think the reason I can still do what I'm doing is I never stopped. I think once you take a break for a month or 2 or 3, you're not going to be at the same level when you get back into it. So you just try to, keep up to date, keep current. With what we do, there's no coaches. You're going to get as good as you want to get, and as much time as you put in is going to pay off later on. It's all up to the individual to put in the time and effort to get to the next level. And you got to find that fine line where you don't want to push yourself too hard and get injured, and then you can't put in the time to practice. So you have to find that fine line of the progression of learning the tricks. Start out with the easy tricks and work your way on up. It's a progression with patience as well. You just have to do it in repetition and repetition, and hopefully learn from your mistakes. And that's going to make you a better rider in the long run. I've heard people describe me as being a pretty mellow, laid-back person. As far as motivated, I feel like I'm motivated to continue riding at a high level and doing what I like to do, and that in turn motivates me to want to be successful in my business. So I think kind of laid back as a person and motivated as a rider. I don't think I'm that competitive a person as far as competing against other people. I think I'm more of a competitive person with myself and goals that I want to achieve. Having a family definitely keeps you grounded because as you grow up, you need to change your values. And in our industry, in our sport, people see us as being extreme and crazy, and just being out on the road all the time could get you in trouble. So yeah, it definitely keeps you grounded, having a family and motivation to want to come back home. We are heading out to the storage area to pick up our quarter pipe trailer and all our equipment. And then from there, we are going to meet up with the other riders and our announcer for this afternoon show. I really don't do much to stay focused. I guess my main focus is just practicing and keeping at a certain level. So that's all done ahead of time. Once we get to where we're going, I don't really have any kind of rituals to make me stay focused. I just, when we get there, I just know what the job needs to be done and just do it. This trailer is a ramp. The trailer is a 9-foot tall, 16-foot wide quarter pipe. Then inside it, we have a box jump. Everything inside is on wheels. The back door opens up like a wedge. You roll everything down into position, set up the other ramp, and then we have a generator for power. We have some orange safety cones that we mark off the area that we're gonna need to perform in. I kind of put all of the best ideas that I thought worked best out of all the ramps that I've ridden and put them into one. Ready to go pretty much anywhere. Yes, it is dangerous, even though you might have done a certain trick so many times over and over and over and never had a problem. It doesn't mean there's not gonna be a problem that time. So yes, it is a dangerous sport, and that's why being older now, I wear all of my safety gear all the time.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's drop the ramp riders in. The bicycle stunt riders, Rob and Scott, coming to you out of Orlando, Florida. To make a little noise for these guys.
We are always aware of the audience. You'd be surprised how many times we get really close to the crowd, but We are in control of what we're doing.
One's out here for Rob Nollie. Oh my! A suicide nose pick it's called. And how about one more time coming in backwards out of that nose wheelie? Rob Nollie, everybody.
Once you've done this enough, you just know the dimensions of your bike and how far out it's going to go and how fast you're going, and you can adjust for it. So we get up close and personal with the crowd, but we know what we're doing and we're aware of the surroundings. A lot of times with the jump over that we do, we get volunteers out there to jump over, and we don't always clear them by 4 or 5 feet because it doesn't make it as spectacular. You know, you don't want to make it look too easy. There is a specific feeling when you're doing a certain trick, and you get that feeling as soon as you start it. As soon as you're going up the ramp, you either know if it's right or if it's wrong. Everything that I have accomplished in BMX, I never saw coming. I was that kid waiting for the show to get over to go up and get autographs. And I still have those autographs to this day, so it's all been a surprise, and I just keep an open mind and see where it's gonna take me next. There's a few things that could stop you from BMX. Either you lose your motivation or drive to do what you love to do, or the most common thing is an injury. So, I mean, that's all it takes as well is, you know, one injury and you're just not physically able to do what you want to do anymore. So you just have to find ways around it. We'll just see what happens.